Hey YouTube, it's Petey Two Finger, and I'm building a voltage regulator. This is a 7809, and I have these heat sinks that I've removed from other project. I sanded the adhesive off of the back of this, so there's no drill hole in this, and the threads are kind of close together. The pitch on this, so. What to do? I need to attach this heat sink to this aluminum block. So pros, techs, and experts will tell you never, don't ever, no, don't, no, 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 don't. Don't ever, no, don't, nope, you can't do it, nope, sorry, don't, no, you can't. Honey, micro batch? Yeah. So I have here a plastic clamp from a clamp set. And Gampty, my lovely assistant, Gampty, is bringing me. Oh, you didn't whip it up?
Well, I don't think I can whip up the black.
Oh, jeez.
I think I probably can't.
Okay. We're gonna use JB Weld automotive epoxy as an adhesive in a thermally conductive joint. And if you look up, people have done experiments and tests with this. JB Weld conducts heat better than aluminum. It's also conductive. Now, let me. What?
This is for your mask. I think it's our shadows. They're freaking.
So, what that means is this, in theory, when this when this hardens, it will. This heat sink will be grounded. Because this JB Weld, what I'm using here, see, yeah, this will never come off.
Poke it or something.
Yeah, it's you just squeeze it.
I remember.
Thanks for doing this for me off camera.
Well, now people can see how if the lid don't come off, just gotta poke a hole, squeeze it out the side.
Yeah, that's what we do. So I'm going to mix up a micro batch of JB Weld and use it as a thermal epoxy. Thermal meaning it's just going to serve two purposes. It's gonna glue. Where's the component?
What's the component?
The component is the 7809 V-Reg, Gampty.
Well, here's the two little caps. I don't know where the rest of it is. Where's the board that you cut? Was it this?
Yep, it's this.
I don't know where the 78. Oh, it's right there on your mouse pad by the picture of the waterfall.
Oh. So here I'm just kind of smearing the stuff, smearing it on the points of contact. And here I have clamped it together. It looks straight, looks good. So what I can do now is put it in a drawer that's halfway open and let it, this is clamped, so I doubt it's going to slide. It's sitting at an angle, but I don't think it's going to slide anywhere because it is clamped. But the point of this video, if you look up in the threads about this, you'll see a lot of people saying, no, it's just as easy to go and pick up Arctic silver. And, people are asking this question because they don't want to leave their home. They've got the JB Weld in front of them and they're like, is this going to work? Meaning, will I regret using this? It's not really the right stuff for the job. Meaning, is it going to burst into flames? Is it going to cause the catastrophic failure? And the answer to any of that, as long as it's not, as long as you know it's conductive, that it conducts electricity, and that's not going to interfere. It's not going to cause a hard short, cause an explosion. So this is what my pal Clementine knows about this. And this is pros, techs, and expert syndrome. These guys, they've never done anything risky or exactly the way it was taught to them in their high school electronics class. They've never taken any chances or broken any rules. And when it comes down to it, there is so much leeway in this stuff, and how in reality and then in what's on paper. When you go to the internet, when you go into a forum, a group of experts, and you say, hey, can I get away with doing it this way as a temporary fix? And they'll all go, no. You need, and the guy already knows about what they're selling him, what he's supposed to get. But it's midnight in his neck of the woods, and maybe he lives, 75 miles from the nearest Blaine's Farm and Fleet or wherever he would be able to pick up some Arctic silver or whatever it may be. So my point is this. In this particular situation, if you really read through all of the forums where this question has been asked, you will find a handful of people that have used it, that have done it, that it's perfectly fine, that it works unbelievably good to transfer heat. That's the one thing that I'm concerned about using JB Weld. I know that it's permanent, that it's going to glue it on there really dang good. Okay, I know that. But does it conduct heat? Because if it doesn't conduct heat, me gluing a heat sink onto this component that produces heat with a barrier that's going to not conduct heat is a huge mistake. Because in that case, if this compound did not conduct heat, and I went ahead and glued a heat sink onto it, the heat sink would become a decoration. All of the heat would be stuck in the chip, and it would fry the chip. My amp would stop working 3 hours into me playing at the remote location. So, you can use JB Weld as heatsink compound. I wouldn't recommend it on your CPU, but people have done it. And I know that from reading people that did. People have done it. And if it's in that situation, let's say it's an old computer, what's the harm? It's like you're going to have some thermal compound in there that's going to last forever. The cooling fan, the block, is going to be stuck to the chip, but oh well, you're never going to have to worry about it ever again because it's JB Weld. It's going to be there till the end of time, and it conducts heat really well. So that was a tip on, not all heat sinks have a hole that's tapped where you just the screw just fits perfectly in and tightens in, and there's your heat sink. In some cases you have that, other cases you have to get a nut. It's different every time. And I found myself in a position where I have the other ones. I didn't have to do this, but I know that I'm in no hurry. I've got more parts on the way, coming from actually from the United States. So I got a couple days to wait. I probably would have soldered this up tonight. I think it's coming up on midnight, but I can do it tomorrow. So this is part of an amplifier. The amp runs off 24 volts. Then there's a buffer coming right off the input jack. There's a buffer. And following that is a noise gate circuit that I'm building. And following the noise gate is a preamp. The preamp feeds a power amp, a Class D power amp. So this board here has two capacitors on it. This is three strip Vero. So when this is cured, it'll go in here like that. Go like that. And the filter caps will do their job. These little guys here, filtering. I'll have two wires coming in with 12.5 volts on it. And then on the output on the other side, I'll have two wires coming out, and that'll be 9 volts, because that's what this part does. It's a voltage regulator, and it sees 12.5 volts coming in, and then it cuts that down to 9 volts. It's called a 7809 voltage regulator. So there's heat dissipated by that. So the output two wires will go to a rail, probably 6 or 8 pieces long, two sides, 2 strips of Vero board. This is a 3 strip here, and there's an extra strip on the side that's just because it's an end cut. I don't have my sanding block. You see this this hole here. I can use that to run a screw through it, or run wires underneath and have them come around as a stay. More than likely, I will use this as a screw to fasten this down. To come to think of it, I hate to flip-flop on you guys. More than likely, really what will end up is I'll run the wire through it, because I'm planning on using double-sided tape to hold the circuit. And in 5 years, if that wears itself out, I can clean it up, remove it, and replace the double-sided tape. It's not going to be the end of the world. I've been using double-sided tape to fasten circuits quite a bit recently, and I got to tell you, would you mind taking some? I had a here it is. Would you mind just don't inhale this strip board is toxic, so you don't want to breathe when you're forming it. But I've been using double-sided tape to hold circuits down quite a bit. This double-sided tape, man, that smells bad. From the dollar store. It's strong, super glue brand, and it does a really good job, I gotta say. Anyway, I'm sure nobody's. All right, this is bad. You should probably take this in the
And wear my gas mask.
and hit it with a
Wire.
wire brush. Not the wire brush. So anyway, JB Weld is thermally conductive, and I use it to affix heat sink. Now, if you have an option to use a fastener, to use a screw, use a screw. Right? I mean, this isn't about, oh, JB Weld is the best way to do the job. No, not at all. Excuse me. Yeah. The reason I made this video is it's not even to show that JB Weld is an option to connect a heat sink to I hate to say a chip. Is that a TO92 package? I don't know. The main point of this video is, if you go on an expert forum and ask a question about a workaround, they're going to tell you no every time. They're not going to be honest with it and go, you know what, I bet that would work. None of these guys have ever had the balls to try it, because with these type of guys who are on the forums, they'll get to that point and they'll go, oh, whoa, 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 brrr, blow the whistle, shut her down, order the most expensive thing, the $35 solution, and have it next day air shipped in for another $35, and that's the way they do it, because that's American male hobby. I'm an expert. I know the right way to do it, and I would never, don't ever, 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 no. So you got to watch out for that. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves. Peace.